Hi everyone. So this is part 2 of utilizing dowsing rods to as part of your spiritual path and to talk to your spirit team. So we're going to ask some additional questions. Again, they swing in for a yes for me and out toward my shoulders for a no, either one or both rods. Okay, Spirit, we did our protection spell already. We're grateful for you being here today. We're going to ask you, can we utilize the dowsing rods to speak with our loved ones who have passed over? Can we utilize the dowsing rods to speak to our loved ones who have passed over? That's a yes. Let me move back a little. Thank you, Spirit. Can we utilize the dowsing rods to speak to our angelic team? That's a yes. Here's a good question. Can our loved ones that have passed over be guides for us? Yes. Oh, that's a double yes. Is that because they are part of our original soul family blueprint and they understand our soul purpose in a particular incarnation? Yes. Okay. Okay, let's get ourselves straight out here. Can utilizing the dowsing rods open our psychic abilities in other areas or expand our psychic abilities? Yes. It's a big double yes. So if you're somebody who's struggling with maybe working with oracle cards, or you're struggling with hearing your guides, you might want to try working with the dowsing rods, because it's a yes no answer and it kind of gets the energy flowing. It might be something that then opens other areas of your abilities, whether it be astral traveling or clairaudience, clairsentient, maybe even your spiritual creative abilities and what you came here to do creatively. Is it okay? Let's get situated here. All right. Is it a good idea for us to speak with our spirit team daily? Is it a good idea to make contact with our spirit team daily? I'm going to take that as a yes, since it swung in toward my heart. Does the contact have to be made through dowsing rods? Does contact with our spirit team have to be made through dowsing rods? That's a no. So they're one avenue to work with. Here's a good one. Is it a good idea to spend more time with our dowsing rods, speaking to our spirit team, than it is to be in relationship with humans in our life? Is it a good idea to spend more time with our dowsing rods than it is with real humans in human form? We're not getting a lot of movement there. I'm going to take that as it's not a clear-cut yes or no answer, that it's really for you as an individual. I thought that was going to be a no, personally, that we should be engaging in our human relationships. But I think that maybe what they're trying to say is that, that's not for them to answer. It depends on your journey and where you are in your journey. Am I correct in assuming what I just said, Spirit? Is what I just said correct in regards to the amount of time we spend with our dowsing rods? Patience is a virtue. All right, let's move on to another question. I can't remember if I asked this one in part 1. Can lower energies or entities attach to us if we do not use a protection spell? Yes. So you definitely want to do a protection spell. And what that would mean, I did it before I started the video, but what that would mean is saying something along the lines of, I only allow highest divine intelligence, will, love, harmony, healing, guidance, and protection into this dowsing rod session. I close my aura and all of my body and being, my mind, my emotions to any energies that are not of the highest divine love and light frequency. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always end with gratitude. And you can make up your own, but you want it to be around something to that extent, or you can ask the Christ consciousness energy to come in and protect the session, or Archangel Michael. Oh, this is a good one. Sorry. Do the dowsing rods at times pick up on my personal beliefs, limitations, perceptions? Can that energy be picked up on? Yes. So it's a good idea to also say that as part of your opening prayer protection, that, you know, you wish for to be a vessel for only higher wisdom and divine intelligence to come in, and that your human ego-based fears, anxieties, perceptions, beliefs is not a part of the answers in the sessions that come in. Okay. I think that's it for today, because I think I did answer all of these in the 2 parts. Sorry for all the silence, but I'm trying to learn how to do this, and you know, I'm trying to be helpful and of service by showing up like this, but this is actually the first videos that I've made. So I'm still learning, or I'm just beginning to learn. So have a little patience with me. I think it's fascinating. I think, you know, the concept that, you know, the dowsing rods are made of copper, and mine in particular has a little chamber, and I have crystals inside here. So it came with black tourmaline, but then I added some crystal quartz, and I added a blue crystal. I can't remember what it's called, for using my highest voice, clarity, truth through the throat chakra. I have a amethyst purple crystal to open my third eye to the metaphysical world. A crystal quartz for highest wisdom, and intelligence, divine intelligence coming through. Black, of course, is for protection from any lower energies. And then I have a pink quartz in there, which is to connect me to my heart chakra, and so that I stay open and expansive when I'm working with them. So you want to get a set of copper rods, because copper is a metal that is a conductor of energy. So what we're doing when we're using the rods is that we're asking spirit to manipulate energy, because energy is what everything is made up of, in order to give us, you know, the movement and the swing. So you definitely can move these. I will, you know, I was trying to keep my hands as still as possible, but if you jerk your arm or your shoulder, I mean, you could see how it starts to move. So you definitely want to get a pretty good grip on it. You don't want to be like tight like this, because I think that blocks the energy. I just heard that actually, which might be why some of the answers didn't come quickly enough, because you don't realize that you're gripping it. Just like think about in life, if you're gripping onto something, you know, it's going to cause a restriction or an uneven flow in the energy. So you just want to hold them gently but still, and, you know, hold them as level as possible. Now see right there, I was holding it pretty still and it started to move. So what I find is that it will, it will sometimes just move. I've seen other dowsers when they're working with them, you know, before they even come up with a question, their rods are kind of moving all around. And mine do that at times as well, where I haven't even gotten the question formulated and one's really swinging this way and one's swinging that way, you know. And so you start to, it's just because the energy kind of needs to steady. So sometimes I will stay, may the energy please steady, you know. And you want to also give thank you, give gratitude whenever you get an answer or reciprocity from spirit. That's a good idea. And also the protection spell, we talked about that. Let me see if there's anything else here. Oh, you need to figure out in the beginning which way is yes and no for you. So what I did is I have a crystal grid, which I'll show you here at the end, but because they will swing different ways for different people. Sometimes it's out, it's always out, and one way is yes and one way is no. But for me, when I asked, I immediately got that yes was moving in toward my heart chakra. See, it's doing it now. And that no was moving out toward my shoulders. And sometimes it's both. If it's a really big, fast swing, that's a serious yes. Sometimes it's a very slow yes. Sometimes you will get a yes and a no. And that's always interesting, because think about even in your regular life, you could ask a question that is a yes and a no answer. It might be, should I go to Hawaii on vacation? Yes, that would be a good idea, but no, this might not be the right time. So then you really need to kind of like know how to ask the follow-up question with your rods, because you may get kind of confused by the answer and think, ooh, I thought that was going to be a no answer. Now it's a yes answer. And then you start to have doubt and lose faith, when actually it's just that you need to ask more questions to go deeper with what they're trying to tell you, because they are only giving you yes and no answers. Now, also, like the rods told us today, these will open up your other abilities. So over time, if you hear a message drop in, or you see a vision while you're working with them, that's spirit giving you other avenues. So pay attention to that, and not just to the yes and no answers. Let's see what else I wanted to tell you. Attuning to your energy. So this is really important, because what happened with me is when I first got them and I started working with them, they didn't move at all. Like they were just saying stick straight like this. And I got very discouraged. But I have been a Reiki practitioner for, I can't even know how many years now. It's quite a while. I don't know if it's quite 10 years, but it's probably getting there. And my ability to speak with my guide started with practicing Reiki. And that kind of opened up everything for me. And then it opened up the cards. One day my guide said to me, we want you to start working with cards. And I did that. And people said, oh, wow, like they couldn't believe the answers I was getting or what I saw. So it's been a long time coming for me to work with these. So I just assumed that it was just going to just boom. I was going to just take off with it, you know. But I didn't. And then I got frustrated. And my guide said to me, you need a grid. You need crystals to work with. And they told me what crystals to pick up and use in my meditation room. And they said, lay the rods down on the, and I'll show you at the end of this video, lay them down on the grid and just let them attune to your energy in a room that you spend a lot of time in. And I spend a lot of time in this room because it's my meditation art room and my like spiritual library. So I did that while I worked on a piece of art. And then a couple hours later, I went over and started working with them. And that's when they started to move. So have a little patience. You have to develop a relationship with everything in life, whether you're in physical form or non-physical form. We learn a lot and get our wisdom from, and our teachings from our relationships. So those are just some tips I wanted to give you. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, maybe I'll do that on another video because I'm running out of time, which is why the rods sometimes get stuck and they don't move, or, you know, how your energy can be affecting the fact that they're not moving. So I'll save that for a separate video. But just to show you really quickly, this is the grid. Okay. Let's see if I can get it in there. There you go. So I have like a Metatron's grid, and then I use pyramids and amethyst and a piece of shell that was from New Zealand, which is really in the area where Lemuria was. Am I getting this in here? Yeah. So, again, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it's going to be for you. You are going to want to talk to your rods or talk to spirit, however you talk to spirit, and ask, how can you attune your energy to your particular rods, and just listen to what they say to you. You may pick them up and you're just a natural and it just starts moving. So then you know that you are in divine alignment with these, and it's a tool you're supposed to be working with at this time. So blessings. I hope that helps somebody, encourage somebody, and I wish you well. Reiki blessings.